we're going to be responding to some news today. There has been an update here. It says an update to our attire policy. So if you guys have been on Twitch at all, you know that it was originally branded as Justin TV. That was the founder's name. And they started live streaming, basically getting technology to, where you could live stream like you were a live broadcast network from a laptop, a phone, a PC. And they didn't really know what that technology was going to be used for. And it turned out pretty quickly upon the release of StarCraft 2 that a ton of people, I think over like 70-80% of the people on Justin TV were streaming games. And they realized, okay, this is a market we didn't know that existed. So let's rebrand Justin TV to Twitch TV. Twitch obviously talking about like Twitch reflexes in gaming. And let's make the website effectively a hub for anything gaming. So esports, speedrunning, let's play stuff, all that. They attempted to become the dominant hub for that, and they succeeded. They did a great job. We all know Twitch. I mean, it is still basically the king of live streaming, despite how big some of these other streaming platforms and despite how big YouTube is. Twitch really is the live streaming place to be. Now, as years passed, IRL streams became a thing. And then, of course, eventually we got kind of this own, how do you say it, like kind of an adult-themed genre on Twitch. A lot of suggestive material. So girls in hot tubs, filming themselves doing yoga, whatever. And so the question has always been, okay, well, what place does this have on Twitch? Should it be banned entirely? You know, should it be moderated like it has been before? It's basically, as I would call it, a battle between the moderinos versus the boobas. So where do we draw the line? What's going on? If you guys have been following the current booba meta, you would know that there is this whole thing that's happening where people are, I guess you could say, scantily dressed, but using like a black, almost like a censored box or rectangle to cover up areas where the genitalia is, but they are, in fact, not nude. So underneath that, they might have like a, I don't know, my women's attire, a swimsuit that doesn't go over the shoulders, but would instead connect underneath. And so this kind of generates the illusion of a person who is naked. And what the reason why they're doing this, besides getting viewers and attention on Twitch, is that they can funnel that into their OnlyFans. So Twitch has now updated their policy. We're going to read through this real quick here. I'm going to zoom in so this is actually something you guys can read too. We are updating the attire portion of our community guidelines to prohibit implied nudity while streaming on Twitch. This update is in response to a recent meta on Twitch in which streamers use black censor bars or other items to block their bodies or clothing. Or position the camera frame such that the viewer is led to believe that the streamer is fully or partially nude. While most streamers have labeled this content appropriately with the sexual themes label and are wearing clothing behind the object or outside the camera frame, for many users, the thumbnails of this content can be disruptive to their experience on Twitch. While content labeled with sexual themes, with the sexual themes label, isn't displayed on the home page, this content is displayed within the category browse directories. And we recognize that many users frequent these pages to find content on Twitch. This update goes into effect today. For those areas of the body where coverage is required, the coverage must be fully opaque. Sheer or partially see-through clothing does not constitute coverage. Note also that streamers must appropriately categorize their content. For example, streamers that use the attire exception that is granted when streaming near a pool or a hot tub are expected to use the pools, hot tubs, and beaches category when classifying this content. While at times we simply reclassify the stream into the appropriate category, repeat failure to appropriately classify a stream will lead to an enforcement action. So like a temporary ban, permanent ban, something like that. Our goal with this and other recent changes is to make Twitch a safe and welcoming place for all of our communities that call it home. Improve the clarity of our policies and ensure that people have the experience they expect when spending time on Twitch. We are currently working on the ability to blur thumbnails for content labeled using the sexual themes label, plus user settings that will allow a user to filter their Twitch viewing experience based upon the preferences for content labeled with content classification labels, CCL. Okay, the updated attire policy now reads, we don't permit streamers to be fully or partially nude, including exposing genitals or buttocks. Nor do we permit streamers to imply or suggest that they are fully or partially nude, including but not limited to covering breasts or genitals with objects or sensor bars. We do not permit the visible outline of genitals even when covered. Broadcasting nude or partially nude minors is always prohibited. Yeah, regardless of context. For those who present as women, we ask that you cover your nipples and do not expose underbust or underboob. Cleavage is unrestricted as long as these coverage requirements are met and it's clear the streamer is wearing clothing. For all streamers, you must cover the area extending from your hips to the bottom of your pelvis and buttocks. I don't have a strong opinion, I guess, either way on this. I do as a guy with like a guy brain. Obviously, you're very visually stimulated. I guess as long as there's a system in place where if you don't want to get psychologically pulled into like sexual thoughts, to have something that would either censor that or make that where it doesn't appear in your feed. I kind of get that. At the same time, you know, it's kind of a weird, I guess it's just an interesting battle between these content creators that clearly Twitch is going to let have on. How far can they push the limit? They're always going to try to push the limit as far as they can, and Twitch always has to figure out exactly where they can draw the line. So it's kind of this never-ending battle. Twitch will let certain things happen and then all at once have a ban to try to pull that back. But it seems for now, Twitch is going to allow this stuff to continue on the platform. I don't think it's going to go away. I think from a business standpoint, it wouldn't make sense for it to go away, but they have drawn the line here with these sort of, I guess you call them like the black censored images here. Another argument I hear from this, which I find kind of weird, is when people talk about Twitch being like a place where kids are on. Like they're, you know, but there are children on this site. If you're under the age of 18, I don't know that Twitch is a place you should necessarily be without parental permission. This is basically a website full of uncensored streamers as far as language goes, playing violent video games with chat rooms with strangers on there. This is not a daycare center. So I don't know if the argument that children being exposed to this is I don't know. I feel like unless you have your parents' permission, you probably shouldn't be on the website to begin with. We really need to reinvent the internet on some level to prohibit kids from getting onto certain sites. So anyways, that's the state of things on Twitch. Interesting to see what they were going to do about this. I was wondering if this meta was going to stay the same way that we saw the hot tub meta stay and never go away. In fact, you can even see people sitting, well, they'll have like an inflatable pool, even like a mini inflatable pool in their apartment room or bedroom, just so they can be in a swimsuit. So it's like people taking the rules almost from a legalistic point and then kind of twisting them so they can still get away with the content they're going to make. So yeah, again, I'm kind of agnostic on this, but I always am fascinated at, you know, what's going to be allowed on platforms like Twitch and you know, how far people can go and what they're going to get away with. Anyways, if you like this kind of content, thank you so much for joining me. You can always join me on my Twitch stream where I make this content live at Tasteless TV. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the video. Let me know what you think about the new Twitch rules, if you're for it or against it. And also, I got a Never Lucky shirt on. It's my Dungeons & Dragons die shirt. You can get that at tastelessthreads.com with some other cool stuff. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in a future video. Bye-bye.